Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be looking at a band I have never heard of before. This came in through my emails, one of the many emails I get every single day. I get about 20 to 30 emails every single day from bands and record companies asking me to look at music. So today we're going to be looking at a band called Funeral Vomit. Sounds delightful. Now, along with this email that came with basically a press release, and I can tell you that Funeral Vomit appears to be a Colombian death metal band, and yeah, Colombian death metal. I don't think I've covered any Colombian bands on this channel before, so that'll be interesting. Excuse me. Now, some information about the band which they sent was the band emerged during the global pandemic of 2020, and the band has stayed committed to its vision of crafting underground, raw and genuine death metal sounds. Their journey began with the release of Necrophoric Infestation in 2020, followed by collaborations with Mexican band Heretic Ritual and Chinese death metal act Multifission, spelt with a V because that is so hardcore metal and cult. In 2022, the band released their self-titled EP Funeral Vomit. The band draws inspiration from pioneers like Infestor, Autopsy and Mortician. The band also infuses undertones reminiscent of black metal acts such as Bestial Warlust and Blasphemy, creating a blend that exudes audial rawness. They are releasing a debut album, Monumental Putrescence, which this track comes from, and that's scheduled for release on December 19th. If I can find any pre-order links, I will stick them below. The album will be available on CD, 12-inch LP, cassette and other digital formats. So, Colombian death metal. Now, I do enjoy myself some death metal, as many of you know. I was actually a vocalist for 2 death metal bands over the years, and genuine raw death metal underground could be interesting. So yes, I'm looking forward to seeing what this is. This is a lyric video. So yeah, but before we jump into it, if you could smash that like button and maybe even subscribe if you're not already, that would really be helpful to me and the channel. But let's jump into this track. So, Spectral Parasite by Funeral Vomit. Let's have a look. Well, there you go. Spectral Parasite, is that what it's called? Can't remember now. Yeah, Spectral Parasite by Funeral Vomit. Now, musically, I really liked it. The actual music itself was great. I hated the vocals. Absolutely hated it. Well, maybe hate's not the word I'm looking for. Maybe it's too strong of a word. I don't like this style of vocals. It sounds like a blocked garbage disposal unit. And most of the times with this sort of vocal style, if you're reading the lyrics along with what's being said, you can just sort of vaguely hear the actual words, but the actual enunciation of the words just goes completely down the drain, ironically. You know, because the words aren't shaped properly when you're singing this kind of style. You know, it just sounds like someone gargling nails and razor blades. You know, it's not a good sound. I don't like it at all. This and the sort of pig squeal vocals, I don't like. I don't think it sounds good. The tone of it sounded good, but the actual style, I don't like at all. You know, because you get lines like "twisted, baleful dreams," which is one of the lines, and all you're getting is, you know, it's got the syllables there, but there's no actual shape to the word. And I don't like, you know, it makes all of the skill that's been put into the piece of music just disappear. It ruins it all, in my opinion. That's just me. I do not like this vocal style at all. It's no. I mean, I can kind of see what they're trying to do with it. You know, why people use it, but it really detracts from the overall piece of music. You know, you can have a wonderfully crafted piece of music. I mean, the actual music on this track sounded really good. But you put this over the top, those vocals over the top, and it basically, I'm not going to say destroys, but it spoils the actual music. But that's just my opinion. You know, I'm sure there are people that really like this vocal style for whatever reason. I mean, a little while ago, I covered a band, I can't remember who it was, and they did similar vocals to this. And I actually spoke to the singer afterwards, after I'd done the video. Had a discussion with them, because I didn't have any lyrics for that, and you know, I like to talk about the lyrics of songs. And I spoke to the artist after I'd done the video. I didn't have any lyrics for it. And I asked him, you know, what were the actual lyrics to the song? He goes, there actually wasn't any. He was literally just making those growly, gurgly sounds to sound like there was words, but it was literally just him going, and that was it. You know, there was no actual words. It was just somebody growling noises to make it sound like words. And when you use this kind of vocal style, you can get away with it. And I think that destroys a good piece of music. But that's just my personal opinion. Now, the actual lyrics to the song, it's pretty standard, sort of, let's make something gross and disgusting lyrics. You know, it's not one of those ones that's got a deep meaning behind it. It's pretty typical. You know, let's make something that makes people go, ugh, that's gross. You know, rather than actually having story behind it. And it's basically just about parasites and grossness, basically. The lyrics go: spectral dimension shapes, emergence of hideous pain shapes, thorns the flesh till death, hideous frightening demise, infest the living host, twisted baleful dreams, endless nervous pain, spectral agony, encephalic mass erodes, flesh dissolves, faded consciousness, decomposing flesh. You know, so they've thrown in words like encephalic, you know, but in the song you can't hear that. You know, and, you know, you listen to bands like Carcass where they use words like encephalic and, you know, all those sorts of really big sort of cool medical terms that sound really, really good. You know, it's like, how did you fit a word like that into a song? How did you make that fit into lyrics? But in here, the use of the word just sort of gets lost. It just comes out as, you know, that's it. You know, so the actual... You know, they've taken time to write lyrics that sound pretty cool. But again, they're sort of disappearing and getting ruined by a bad vocal style, in my opinion. Anyway. Brought from other times through a vortex of blood, brings symbiotic death, soon the larvae hatch. Infest the living host, twisted baleful dreams, endless nervous pain, spectral agony, encephalic mass erodes, flesh dissolves, faded consciousness, decomposing flesh. Malignant predation, host mind constriction, soulless corpse affliction, mind deterioration, parasitic infest, the eggs are laid, pestilence hatches, evil prognosis. So, you know, it's basically saying, you know, these apparently... parasites that seem to come from another space and time, they seem to be like an alien parasite, as it were, basically infect your body and destroys it. That's basically what it's saying. You know, there's no deep, thoughtful meaning to it, and, you know, it's a pretty typical, classic sort of what people would consider a stereotypical death metal set of lyrics. But, you know, they're relatively well written. The music sounds great. The vocals suck. I mean, the vocal style sucks. I like I said, I hate it. But still credit to the actual vocalist, because these things are still hard to do. Doing death metal vocals, despite what many people seem to think, is actually quite difficult. Because you've got to be able to do it without fucking your throat up. And if you don't do it properly, you're just going to blow your voice box out, and, you know, you'll be speaking like somebody who smoked 57,000 packs of cigarettes a day for the rest of your life. You know, so you've got to be careful the way you do it. So it still takes skill, an immense amount of skill, to do this. It just sounds horrible. It's just not a good vocal style, in my opinion. I would not listen to this band purely because of those vocals. You know, if it had a sort of more, I don't want to say more traditional kind of death metal vocal, you know, because, you know, that will just make it a generic death metal band. But if it had a more coherent vocal style, I would probably listen to it. But as it is, this, like I said, this vocal style just ruins the whole experience for me. I do not like it. The music is great. The vocal style ruined it, in my opinion. In case I hadn't made that clear by however many times I've said that already. But yeah, like I said, anybody who did enjoy this, yeah, you know, the album comes out on the 19th of December, so I'll put some, if I can find any, I'll put links below to where you might be able to pre-order it. But I don't know what else I can say about that, so I'll leave that as it is. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and a subscribe if you're not already, because it really, really would help me out, you know, really help the channel out, you know, because at the moment, I think only about 9.5% of people watching these videos are actually subscribed. And as a result of that, you know, I'm putting lots of time and effort into making these videos. And when I upload them, they're just sort of disappearing into the algorithm because people aren't liking and subscribing. They're not getting suggested to people, so people aren't seeing the video. And it's quite disheartening, because I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years now, and I'm putting all this effort in and nobody's watching the videos. Maybe I need to be more comedic and start overreacting like most other reaction channels where they hear a bass drop and they go, "Oh my god!" But that's not me. That's not, I've always prided myself on being honest and true to the piece of music, and to you. I'm not gonna feed you over dramatic reactions. Like, I want to give an honest reaction to a piece of music. I want to give an honest opinion of a piece of music. If I don't like a piece of music, I'm going to say that I don't like it. If I like it, I'm going to tell you that I like it. I've always prided myself on being honest, but I don't know where I'm going with that. But anyway, if you could like and subscribe, it really, really would help me out. It really would. But yeah, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Spectral Parasite.